Morning at the Susa Palace bore a tranquil beauty, the sunlight gently shining upon each stone. Afterwards, Daniel stood quietly by the Ulai River, where the mystical vision began to unfold before his eyes. At that time, a majestic ram with long horns appeared, standing firmly by the quiet riverbank. Gradually, a massive male goat rushed forward with startling speed, disturbing that peaceful atmosphere. During that time, the two beasts collided fiercely, the force of the impact making the ground tremble beneath their feet. A small horn sprouted and grew rapidly in an extraordinary way, bearing cruel and arrogant ambition. And then, thousands of stars in the night sky fell to the earth, swept aside in sorrow. At this moment, the angel Gabriel appeared with majesty, causing Daniel to fall to the ground in terror. From the midst of the Ulai River, a powerful voice called out, echoing across the heavens. Afterwards, the sacred glowing figures conversed about the duration of the disaster, sorrow spreading through space. As evening fell, Daniel sat resting by the riverbank, his mind still shaken after so many events. Finally, night fell, returning eternal peace to the river after the vision.
A gentle morning spread across the desolate banks of the Ulai River, where the human soul suddenly grew unusually still. Afterwards, Daniel slowly raised his eyes toward the river, where the mysterious vision gradually revealed itself. At that moment, a mighty ram appeared, its two towering horns reaching straight up into the sky. Gradually, it gored in every direction, its expanding power so mighty that no beast could withstand it. A short while later, the ram stood there full of pride, confident in its invincible strength. During that time, the angel Gabriel appeared radiant with light, causing heaven and earth to tremble in authority. Next, the male goat with a large horn rushed forth like the wind, roaring with an unstoppable fury. When that horn broke off, smaller horns sprouted up, among which a cunning one began its cruel rise. Finally, the stars fell down to the earth, carrying sorrow and painful suffering across all creation. As evening gently fell, the holy ones softly asked about the duration of this terrifying disaster. And then Daniel quietly sat down, carrying the weariness and wonder regarding the vision of the previous night. The Ulai River returned to its stillness once more, keeping the secrets of eternal time closely guarded.
A gentle morning begins on the Ulai River, where the early sunlight embraces the calm water's surface. Afterwards, Daniel stood quietly by the riverbank, his gaze fixed closely on the unusual changes. At that moment, the ram with its powerful horns appeared, standing proudly amidst the pristine natural scenery. From the distant west, a male goat rushed forth with miraculous speed, as if gliding over the flat ground. At that time, the male goat charged fiercely into battle, making the space beneath their feet tremble violently. Gradually, the sturdy horns of the ram were broken off, revealing its vulnerability before that power. A short while later, the ram was thrown to the ground, unable to resist the ruthless trampling. During that time, the male goat grew unusually massive, occupying the entire quiet expanse of the earth. Unexpectedly, the single large horn broke right at the peak of its furious strength. From that place, 4 new horns began to sprout, reaching out toward the 4 winds of the vast sky. Daniel stood there, his heart filled with shock as he witnessed the mystical scene unfolding before his eyes. When the light flared up, the angel appeared like a majestic halo, dispelling all fear. And then, stillness enveloped the river, as if wishing to preserve the precious guidance just given. From the midst of the river, a powerful voice echoed across space, commanding the events to come. In the afternoon light, the small horn began to stretch itself out, full of ambition and malicious intent to oppose the heavens. Slowly, it spread sorrow, as it destroyed what rightfully belonged to the sacred holy place. At the same time, the stars above were cast down, enduring the trampling of the arrogant one. When the light of righteousness took its throne, the commander was present to re-establish order among all creatures. Finally, exhaustion overwhelmed Daniel's mind after he fully understood all the visions. As the sunlight began to slant, everything around gradually returned to the inherent stillness of the river.
May the light of wisdom
And
guide
then,
your path.
gentle darkness descended,
Consider the world
veiling
with
all
peace.
concerns about the heavenly disasters. The quiet night passed by, leaving the Ulai River flowing silently onward with endless time. A quiet morning stretches across the Ulai River, where the mystical vision gradually begins to unfold. Afterwards, Daniel stood quietly amidst the flow of time, a look of weary perplexity etched upon his face. At that moment, a majestic ram with long horns appeared, standing proudly by the great river. At the same time, a massive male goat rushed forward frantically, skimming across the ground with astonishing speed. Gradually, the confrontation between the two kingdoms grew fierce, making that sacred space tremble.
Strength anew.
A short while later, the proud horn broke off, leaving a shattered void amid the distant blue sky. From the ruins, a small horn sprouted, beginning to grow strangely and furiously. It stretched far toward the south and the east, heading toward the glorious land with an ambitious heart. As the morning passed, the stars in the sky fell to the earth in sorrowful tragedy. During that time, the holy place was cast down into the dust, beneath the feet of one full of power, yet full of iniquity. And then, Daniel heard a resounding sound echoing from the very depths of his soul in shock. Two holy ones appeared, their light like solitary stars pondering amidst the long night. They asked one another how much longer this pain and destruction would continue. Slowly, that entity answered regarding the number of days for the coming cleansing of the holy place. 2,300 evenings and mornings. The promise of healing echoed through the emptiness. Finally, the prophet grew exhausted, falling to the cold stone floor out of utter terror at the vision. From the heavens, the angel appeared, gently supporting the weary soul of the one who was waiting. When the moon rose high, the space returned to stillness, with only the wind rustling through the grass. The angel's tall figure gradually dissolved into nothingness, leaving Daniel alone to reflect. His hands shook as he recorded every detail, trying to hold on to the reminders from the heavenly realm. Every word he wrote seemed to count down the days awaiting the cleansing of the holy place. The dawn began a new day upon a land longing to be revived by righteousness. The ram leisurely grazed, completely unaware of the fury of the horn to come. People diligently prepared for sacrifices, unaware that the holy place was about to suffer trampling. Along the long path, he walked in deep contemplation, carrying the feelings of a distant future. The gentle breeze suddenly grew strong, swaying the trees like a warning of change. Beneath the old tree, he sat to rest and dreamed of the day the holy place would be completely cleansed. The night sky still shone bright with thousands of stars, despite the upheavals gradually crashing down upon the world. Left with only his small faith, he waited for the light of righteousness to spread across the earth. The Ulai River continued to flow silently into the distance, carrying the unceasing visions. With a broken body, he drifted off to sleep with the echoing image of the holy place being cleansed. In his dream, he saw a heavenly light enveloping the holy place, washing away all traces of sorrow. A new day flared up, bringing hope for the restoration of what had been destroyed. Finally, peace returned to the prophet as evening gently fell upon the porch. As night descended, everything drifted off to sleep, awaiting the cleansing forevermore.
A gentle morning begins beside the Ulai River, where a thin mist embraces the calm water's surface. Afterwards, Daniel sat in deep contemplation by the riverbank, his pale face clearly revealing perplexity regarding the vision. At that time, amid the quiet atmosphere, a man bearing a strange halo suddenly appeared before him. At that moment, a powerful voice echoed from the midst of the river, calling upon the angel to come. Gradually, the angel stepped closer, radiating an aura of majestic light that made the space seem to stand still. A short while later, before that divine presence, Daniel could not stand firm and fell face down upon the ground. During that time, the angel spoke gently, a voice of authority yet maintaining the necessary support. At the same time, due to sheer exhaustion, Daniel gradually sank into a dazed sleep upon the damp ground. And then, with a touch full of power, the angel awakened the prophet lying motionless. Slowly, Daniel managed to stand up, his face still lingering with the terror from the spiritual experience. As the light spread, the angel began to explain the end time that had been appointed beforehand. Before their eyes, the image of a two-horned ram gradually appeared, symbolizing a mighty kingdom. The ram stood there with pride, its long horns directed toward the west, north, and south, with immense authority. Unexpectedly, from afar, a male goat with a large horn rushed forth like a whirlwind. With extreme fury, the goat charged forward, shattering the ram's strength, breaking its horns, and overthrowing it. After achieving victory, the goat grew arrogant, and its large horn began to change into a strange shape. Then, out of that fury, a small horn sprouted, growing larger and larger with a deeply malicious ambition. It reached high up to the heavens, daring to cast truth to the ground and destroy the sacred holy place. Even the stars were made by it, to fall and be trampled underfoot in a brutal manner. From on high, two holy ones appeared, raising a question about the duration of those terrifying disasters. Responding to that sorrow, the answer rang out that the holy place would be cleansed at the appointed time. Daniel heard those things, his heart heavy with pain before the vision of the distant future. More gently, the angel encouraged the prophet, urging him to take courage before the great vision. Not long after, the angel's figure gradually faded away, leaving Daniel alone by the river. The afternoon shadow began to fall, and Daniel still gazed upon the flowing water, pondering the things he had seen. The surrounding space gradually grew still, with only the sound of the wind softly rustling through the reeds along the bank. Trying to regain his strength, Daniel slowly stood up, taking heavy steps toward home. As evening fell, the sky turned a brilliant orange-red, embracing the soul of the prophet. Finally, the last rays of daylight faded, signaling that a new moment was beginning. Night descended very peacefully, closing a long day filled with boundless heavenly reflections. A gentle morning begins beside the Ulai River, where a hazy mist embraces the mossy stones. Afterwards, Daniel sat collapsed by the riverbank, his pale face clearly revealing exhaustion after seeing the vision. At that time, a brilliant beam of light shone down from above, and the angel Gabriel appeared in true majesty. From afar, the image of a ram with two long, majestic horns appeared, symbolizing power. At that moment, a male goat from the west rushed forth with breathtaking speed, its feet not touching the ground at all. A short while later, the large horn between its eyes broke off, creating a void full of change. From that fracture, 4 other horns sprouted up, marking the division of 4 new kingdoms. During that time, a small, cunning horn began to emerge, carrying countless cruel deceptions. Gradually, it stretched outward, destroying holy things and trampling upon noble values. Witnessing that fierce scene, Daniel trembled at the things about to happen in the future. After a simple lunch, the angel gently touched him, helping him regain his strength to continue listening. Thanks to heavenly strength, Daniel stood up, his face tired yet much calmer. As the morning passed, a gentle breeze stirred each blade of grass, as if wishing to listen to the revelation. The angel slowly explained the kingdoms that would rise and fall along the stream of human time. The horns of the ram were symbols of the mighty Medo-Persian Empire, and the male goat was the kingdom of Greece, with its first king full of great ambition. That great kingdom would eventually be divided into 4 parts, though its power would no longer be as before. When worldly evil reached its limit, a fierce king would appear to manipulate everything. That king was famous for his craftiness, utilizing deceitful plots to usurp great powers. His power increased mightily, but that was not from his own strength, rather from the darkness. That king caused fierce destruction, bringing suffering to many mighty ones and holy people. Through craft, all deceitful schemes became brilliantly successful in his eyes. That king grew arrogant, daring to challenge and rise up against even the Lord of Lords. But that king would be destroyed, not by human hands, but by holy power. As evening gradually fell, Daniel diligently recorded the important revelations about the future. The vision of the evenings and mornings was entirely true, an authoritative prophecy. He was instructed to keep this vision secret because its time was still very far off. After the transmission was complete, the angel gradually vanished, leaving an unusual and quiet space by the river. When left alone, Daniel felt more clearly than ever the fragility of the world. Being utterly exhausted after what he had just seen, he rested by the cool, grassy bank, his eyes turned toward the sky. Beneath the starry night sky, the vision of the future gradually drifted into his peaceful sleep. The Ulai River continued to flow silently, witnessing time quietly transforming according to God's destiny. After much anxiety, Daniel gradually sank into a deep sleep, where temporary worries were soothed. Fireflies flickering by the riverbank were like tiny souls guarding this prophetic dream. The night wind still blew gently, whispering ancient stories that would never fade away. Absolute stillness enveloped the space, where the revelation had just been transmitted. The crystal-clear moon shone upon the water, as if wishing to send a prayer to the most distant place. The young prophet still rested, carrying a great secret within his faith-filled heart. Time kept moving on. Nothing could prevent that preordained arrangement. Finally, night descended to cover everything, leaving only the stillness of a faithful heart. And then, all revelations were kept secret within the heart of the Ulai River until the time was fully accomplished. A gentle morning begins in the quiet stone chamber, where the breath of time settles within each ray of early sunlight. Afterwards, Daniel slowly arose, his face still bearing the lingering traces of exhaustion from the recent days of being spent. At that time, though his mind was still shaken by the mystical vision, he prepared for his routine duties within the royal palace. At that moment, he gradually stepped out of his familiar room, accepting that the meaning of the vision remained a deep and hidden mystery. A short while later, his footsteps led toward the great hall, where the affairs of the kingdom awaited the prophet to shoulder them. And then, amidst the hustle and bustle of reality, his heart still carried the heavy thoughts of the future vision slowly unfolding.
In the third year of Belshazzar's fading crown, a second vision falls as the night comes down. I found myself in Shushan, where the palace gleams by the waters of Ulai, in the land of dreams. I lifted up my eyes by the riverside, a ram with two high horns standing there in pride. One horn was higher, though it rose up late, pushing to the corners with a powerful weight. Westward and northward, to the south it bound. No beast could stand against it on the shaking ground. As I stood there watching, looking from the west, a fierce male goat appeared on a furious quest. It raced across the earth with a lightning pace. Its feet didn't touch the ground in the chase. A single great horn grew between its eyes, charging toward the ram under stormy skies. It struck with raging anger, breaking both the horns, leaving the mighty ram shattered and forlorn. It cast into the ground, stamping in its wrath, and none could save the ram from its deadly path. But empires will rise, and empires will fall. The winds of the heavens will scatter them all. Through the shadows of war and the pride of the clay, the truth will endure till the dawning of day. The male goat grew so great in its iron might, but at its peak of power the horn broke in the night. And in its broken place 4 new horns did rise, reaching out to 4 winds under changing skies. From one of those 4 horns a little horn grew small, but grew exceeding great, towering over all toward the south and east, toward the pleasant land. It stretched its shadow forth with a heavy hand. It reached the host of heaven, cast the stars to ground, trampling the holy ones as the darkness frowned. It magnified itself to the prince of the host, removing the daily sacrifice with a proud boast. The place of his sanctuary was cast down low, flipping the truth to gray in a deadly blow. Then I heard a holy voice asking in the sky, how long shall this destruction and the judgment lie? Another voice replied through the fading light, 2,300 days of morning and night. Then shall the sanctuary be cleansed and made pure. The temple of the Lord will forever endure. I sought the meaning out, standing in my fear, when the appearance of a man suddenly drew near. A voice from the Ulai called across the space. Gabriel explained the vision in this holy place. He came beside my steps, I fell upon my face, sleeping in a deep trance, trembling in that place. He touched me with his hand, made me stand upright, revealing what will happen at the end of night. For empires will rise, and empires will fall. The winds of the heavens will scatter them all. Through the shadows of war and the pride made of the clay. The truth will endure till the dawning of day. A king of crafty deceit shall lift his head up high, destroying the mighty ones beneath the broken sky. He'll rise against the prince of princes in his pride, but he shall be broken with no man by his side. The vision of the mornings, evenings is true. Seal up the prophecy till the time is new. I, Daniel, was weary, sick for many days, astonished by the vision and its mysterious ways. Amen. Amen.
Within the cold stone chamber late at night, the flickering oil lamp cast its light upon ancient parchment scrolls. Following the shocking visions, the young prophet sank into an indescribable exhaustion and bewilderment. Afterward, with a broken heart, he knelt down in humility to pray, repenting on behalf of his people. At that moment, a brilliant heavenly light tore through the night, bringing an answer from on high. Right then, a glorious angel appeared, bearing the great prophecy of the 70 weeks. Gradually, the stream of history opened up before his eyes, pointing toward the glorious time of the Messiah. And then, that radiant, glorious vision brought a profound hope to all of humanity. Finally, an absolute peace enveloped the space, closing a chapter of prophecy full of mystery.
If today's story has encouraged and inspired you, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your family, friends, and loved ones. Your support is a tremendous source of encouragement that motivates me to continue creating more high-quality biblical cinematic stories for everyone around the world. Thank you for being part of this journey.